Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dry. Frick! I forgot the name of the.
What is wrong with you?
Restart. Okay, here we go. Three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Frick! I forgot the name of the
Lock
podcast.
in.
Okay, number three. Number three. Ready? We got this.
Okay. Yep.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drafting Delusions. You're Frick. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drafting Delusions, the world's best NASCAR podcast. I'm Evan, that is Jake, and we are here to discuss Nashville this week. Take it away, Jake.
The Cracker Barrel 400 started out pretty weak. It was a rain delay. We saw the rain last week, and it cut all of the races short. The first time in NASCAR history that all of the races were cut short. It rained again in Nashville this week. Me personally, I'm tired of the rain delays. I
Frick
want to
the
see the
rain.
racing. Frick the rain. That's right, Evan. I like Dale Jr. I like the Prime team. I don't want to listen to them for an extra hour before we get into the racing. But after the rain delay, we had Taylor Lewan and Will Compton. Lewan, very good left tackle for the Titans. Will Compton was a linebacker for the Raiders. He wasn't that great in the league, but man, did he put on a show being the Grand Marshal. In my opinion, probably the best Grand Marshal of the year. What do you think, Evan?
I have to disagree. Jonathan Davis at where
Vegas. It
was
was
it?
at Vegas.
Vegas. I'm sorry. Jonathan Davis at Vegas won that competition.
I don't think so. Jonathan Davis is great. He's probably second for me, but he just kind of did the Jonathan Davis thing. He didn't put all of his might into it. I think Will Compton, he was red. He was screaming his ass off, and I salute Will Compton for that. In my opinion, he was the best Grand Marshal of the year, but no competition to who, Evan?
What's his name?
Kevin
Kevin
James.
James.
Kevin
Kevin
James.
James.
Maybe maybe one day we'll be up there.
Hopefully,
Me and you.
I look
Yes.
forward to it. It's gonna be great.
Yes.
See us at Miami
And
Homestead.
right when the race started, you saw it right away what happened, Evan, right at the beginning of the race.
Denny Hamlin can't see. He needs glasses. That's all I gotta say. Denny Hamlin sucks.
He false started at the very first start of the race or whatever. Very interesting stat. Denny Hamlin has been around for a long time. He's 45 years old, over 750 races.
Unk
That was
status.
his Unk status, yes. That was his first career restart or start penalty. Can you believe that?
I. That is no. I
That
cannot
that
believe that.
that really shows how great Denny Hamlin has been across his career. The consistency for that to be his first restart penalty at age 45 is just incredible. But Denny did have to start from the back, starting out the race. But right away, with Nashville being a short track, we knew that there will be a lot of crashes. And right away, the first crash of the night, Connor Zilic. And I wanted to get into some stuff about Connor Zilic because obviously it's his first year in the Cup Series. He was phenomenal in the Xfinity Series, now the O'Reilly Series last year. Evan, what do you think about Connor Zilic's start to this year?
I think
What? What?
I
Say it.
think
Say it. He sucks, doesn't
I
he?
think Connor
He
Zilic
sucks.
can do better. I think Trackhouse doesn't have a great car for Connor Zilic. I feel like
Mm,
there's many problems, and I feel like he's not ready for the competition of the Cup Series. He was really good in the O'Reilly Series last year with, I think it was 9 wins. Just
nine
came
or
short,
10.
9 or 10. Just came short of the championship. Lost to Jesse Love. Go Jesse Love. Um, but yeah, what do you think?
I think what everyone thinks is that Connor Zilic was robbed of the Xfinity Series championship last year. Jesse Love did not deserve that. Jesse Love has 3 career wins. Connor Zilic last year alone had 9 or 10, tripling Jesse Love's career totals. I mean, it's just incredible that that format, that playoff format was even a thing last year. And it's great. I think it's great. The new format
I have to
really
agree. I
makes
like
it
the chase.
it's way more fair for the consistent drivers and not just getting lucky like Jesse Love did, because that's all he did. He got lucky. But Connor Zilic, I just think it's crazy that he just sucks. He's 34th right now in the Cup Series standings, and he looked like he was going to be a generational prospect. Like it would be like if Fernando Mendoza this year just threw 30 picks. Like he's terrible. And it just sucks because I like Connor Zilic. He's only 19, and I think that he's only gonna go up from here. What do you think, Evan? Do you think Connor Zilic gets any wins this year? And if not, when do you think he sees his first win?
I see him getting his first win on a different team next year, hopefully after his 1 year contract with Trackhouse.
I think I know what team that you're talking about. We'll get into that a bit later. Evan, you know who I was really impressed with at the
Who you
beginning of this race?
who?
AJ Allmendinger.
The Dinger.
Who won stage one?
The Dinger.
Whose rotor exploded?
The Dinger.
Oh yeah,
Let's go. We love
you
AJ
know it.
Allmendinger. Number
We love
16.
AJ
Colic
Allmendinger.
Racing.
He was looking really good at in the first third of the race. It's just unfortunate his rotor exploded like many others during this race.
That is true. I feel like he had a real shot if he made it to stage
Mm,
3 and toward the end. Maybe not a win, but maybe a top 5, top 10. That
mm.
would be very good for his points because he's currently 17th, if I'm correct, in the standings.
Around there, around there.
Yes.
He
So that
might have
might
gone
have,
down a little bit.
yes, it might have pushed him into playoff position, but had the rotor explode, we will never know what would have happened.
And we just love to see drivers that don't do very well that often, don't win very often, like AJ Allmendinger doing well. So it's unfortunate for how good he looked during this race that that happened to him. But I'm sure that he'll turn it around, maybe get maybe get a top five at some point this year.
Hopefully.
And then big news, earlier that morning, Corey Heim will be racing full time in the Cup Series next year for 2311 in the
I'm
35.
time.
Heim time! And he looked good. He looked good in the race. I was very impressed with him. He was running top 10 for a good amount of time until he caused a crash between him, Cole Custer, and Todd Gilliland. Not like we care about any of those people, but
Correct.
Corey Heim did cause that crash. Evan, what did you think about Corey Heim's performance in that race?
I believe Corey Heim did a excellent job throughout that race. I feel like his little incident kind of there was nothing he could really do. Maybe a few things, but that was inevitable. Once he's on his full-time charter next year in the 35, that he'll build a better chemistry with his crew chief, dedicated crew chief, and pit crew, and he'll get to know the car a little bit more and be able to adjust more than just being a part-time driver right now in the Cup Series. So
Mm,
hopefully next year I see 1 or 2 wins from Corey Heim.
you do, really?
Yes.
Interesting. I don't know if he'll win any races next year. I think it might take a few years for him to really get acclimated to the Cup Series, similar to like Connor Zilic, where they're both really young. Heim's a little bit older, where I don't think that these young guys are really ready to get into the victory lane quite yet. I think it'll be a year or two for both of those guys. But I mean, it can't be any worse than Riley Herbst, right?
Yeah. Riley Herbst is the disaster of a generation.
He's not very good. Why is he even in the Cup Series, Evan?
He's got a boatload of money. That's about
Hey,
it.
but did you see those baddies next to him at the start of the race? Man, if only I was Riley Herbst, man. Maybe not the racing ability. I'd like the racing ability of, like a Denny Hamlin or a Tyler Reddick right now, but also have the baddies that Riley Herbst does and the money. That'd be nice.
Okay, Jake.
But it was a wreck fest there in Nashville. There was another one. Austin Dillon ended up wrecking into Brad Keselowski. Cindric was involved in that one as well, and Keselowski's crew chief immediately told Brad that that was intentional, that Austin Dillon was pissed and he did that on purpose. I'm not sure if that was the case. Evan, do you think that that was intentional? You think that was an intentional wrecking by Austin Dillon?
I don't believe it was an intentional wrecking by Austin Dillon, but I do believe that that could have been avoided by a little better driving skill from Austin Dillon. Uh, I would say we need to look further into it, but at this time, I don't think it was intentional.
Yeah, I think he was just driving a bit aggressive. I feel like a lot of drivers were the same way. Like
Yes.
Hocevar always very aggressive.
Caution,
And
Hocevar.
caution Hocevar, absolutely. And he was involved in two wrecks
That's true.
that we'll talk about right now. The first one, absolutely tragic. Hocevar riding up a little bit too high on the track, hits Chris Buescher, who bumps into Bubba Wallace, slides down the track into Bowman, taking out Bubba and Bowman for the rest of the race. Very tragic. Apparently, Bubba Wallace was having some issues with his brakes, and that's why he was riding next to Buescher in order to try to fix that problem somehow. And then Buescher hit right into Bubba. Bubba couldn't recover it because of the issue with his brakes. Slams right into Bowman, and Bubba Wallace and Alex Bowman have both been very unlucky this year. Bubba specifically, Bubba has six top tens, but also six bottom 20s. And recently, Bubba has not been looking so hot. He started out second in the Cup Series standings in the first month. He's now 15th, almost out of the chase positioning. And like he said in his interview, it's not really something that he's had control of. It's a lot of stuff like that where Buescher bumps into him, and maybe it's Hocevar's fault. Buescher didn't say, and I quote, he must have learned that shit on iRacing. What do you think? Do you think that was caution Hocevar's fault on that one?
I do not believe it was caution Hocevar. I believe Chris Buescher, Mr. Buescher,
Mr.
came
Buescher.
back after sliding. He hit someone, I forget who it was. Um, Came sliding back, hit Hocevar and Bubba, and frick.
It's just it's just unfortunate. Bubba and Bowman both done for the day. What do you think about Bubba's recent misfortune lately? Do you think that that is misfortune of his own doing, or do you think that the universe is out to get him, so to
I
say?
believe that there is some things against him that he cannot control, but I feel like there's a lot of deflecting on his
Hmm.
part. Uh, I believe he is not the greatest driver. I feel like his team carries him a little bit. Um, but other than that, yeah, I just believe it's deflecting and trying to point the blame elsewhere.
I do think that there's a little bit of that going on. I do think that there's a little bit of deflection going on there. There's a lot of moments where Bubba has really gone against his own well-being, specifically in the Daytona 500, where he had a good chance to win that race, tried to throw a block on Hocevar, I believe, and completely slid back into the back half of the top 10. So he's really shot himself in the foot a little bit. Now 15th in the standings, like I said. Hopefully he can get back up there. But I want to talk about Bowman too. Alex Bowman has been in the news a lot this year with his vertigo diagnosis. Anthony Alfredo is in the 48 a little bit, and he hasn't been too hot this year, especially for Hendrick Motorsports standards. He sits 32nd in the standings. And that begs the question, will Alex Bowman be in the 48 next year for Hendrick, or will a new driver take his place? What do you think?
Alex Bowman will not be in the 48 next year. There are many new drivers that have tons of potential that they could rip in those Hendrick cars and do really good next season. One of those being Connor Zilic. Uh,
Are there any other drivers, maybe a Jesse Love?
Jesse, that would be fantastic. I would love to see Jesse Love off of RCR in the Cup Series. I'm not the biggest fan of RCR. Their cars suck, their pit crews suck, everything sucks. Um,
Preach.
but if you put Jesse Love in the 48 car, he's going to do ungodly things with that car.
This is
He's,
glazed, man. You're glazing.
he's going to win 5 races and win the championship. I mean, Jesse Love.
In the
That's
48 in the cup?
enough said.
In the cup?
In the Cup.
In the cup. First year Jesse Love in the 48 champion.
Yes, write it down.
All right, bet on that one. Put all your life savings on that one. This is financial advice.
Yes.
But there was another wreck that Hocevar was involved in, involving Nemechek and Gilliland again. Somehow Gilliland is just involved in all of these for some reason. He seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and this one also could be blamed on Carson Hocevar. And with all of the times that we see drivers bump into Carson, and we all saw that video that NASCAR posted where all the drivers were like, who's most likely to cause a caution? And all of them said Carson Hocevar, even himself. Carson Hocevar said that it was Carson Hocevar. So do we think that the caution Hocevar nickname is deserved?
I believe so right now, just as much as Hurricane is deserved. He's a breath of fresh air to all the new drivers. He's not afraid of saying anything. He's not afraid of doing anything. He reminds me of a young Kyle Busch, and I believe that that is good for NASCAR.
I've been seeing a lot of comparisons to Kyle Busch, a lot of comparisons to Dale Earnhardt Sr. And is it too early in Carson Hocevar's career to be saying stuff like that? Like he's
Yes.
only 22, 23, something like that. And he just came off of his first win, and it was epic. He, we all saw him riding around on the outside of the window, and that was sick. You have the Dente coming in January, but I don't know if we can be making those comparisons yet. I love
No.
Carson Hocevar. I don't know about all that praise just yet, but some sad news for Carson Hocevar. Nashville was the last time they're bringing out the Dente this season. This
Yes,
is
that
tragic.
is very unfortunate news.
They
And
should have the Dente full time.
yeah, Dente full time. I agree that they should have more than 7 races. I don't know if Chili's can afford it now after that win and the promotion that they got from that. But yes, and back to the Earnhardt comparison. You can't be
Mm,
compared to Earnhardt if you aren't winning. He has to start
exactly.
winning before he can be compared to Earnhardt. He's got the first half, but we got to see more on his
Exactly.
end.
In a couple weeks, Evan, just so that we can get Chili's that sponsorship money, so that
Hmm.
Carson can ride the Dente, we're gonna be buying Presidente margaritas every Friday night.
Yes, I agree.
Every Friday night. And I encourage all of the listeners to do the same.
Yes.
But enough about Hocevar. Another, the last rotor of the day exploded. It was Chris Buescher. He was already involved in a wreck earlier, the one with Bubba and Bowman. His rotor exploded. That was the fourth of the day. We saw a lot of rotors explode. And back to Carson Hocevar, actually. I'm surprised his rotor didn't blow up. We saw early in the race, it was on fire, but he survived.
Yes.
I'm very surprised by
That is
that.
very surprising. I feel like he handled his his crew especially, and taking the tape off his vents to cool his brakes more, but making regulating temperature, making sure he's not braking too much, not braking too little, so it's not too cold brakes, too hot brakes. He did perfect throughout that race. I'll give him that and his crew.
And that was also the 12th caution of the day. That's a lot of cautions. 77 laps of the 300 were spent on the yellow. And as a viewer, I want to see the racing.
Yes.
It is entertaining to see the crashes, but we want to see the racing. We had so much time taken up from this race, the rain delay, all the cautions. It was a little slow, but I mean, we got through it eventually. Um, let's just get to the finish. Probably one of the most exciting finishes of the season so far. It was a fight between Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, and Denny Hamlin. It really looked like that it was going to be Bell. I thought Bell was going to take that one home. Briscoe was in there fighting, but not really. He kind of trailed off near the end, but Denny was finally able to overtake Christopher Bell for the win at the end there for his second win of the year, third if you include the All-Star race, and his 62nd win all time, one away from the late great Kyle Busch. And what a great way to honor Kyle Busch. He did the bow, the iconic Kyle Busch bow at the end, but no guitar smash, which I think that guitar should have been should have
Broken
been
into a
chopped.
million pieces. Yes,
Oh
I
yeah.
believe it should have been scattered across victory lane.
He
Um,
he should have smashed it and then thrown it in the crowd.
yes, I 100% agree with that.
But I think the bow was cool. It was a very nice tribute to his longtime teammate at Joe Gibbs. Before Kyle's untimely passing, they had the most races as teammates of any current drivers, and so they knew each other very well. Very unfortunate situation with Kyle, but you know what I'm mad about, Evan?
What are you mad about, Jake?
Take a guess. What am I mad about?
I honestly don't know.
It ended at 1 a.m.
Oh, yes, yes. That was tragic. That was
That's ridiculous. It was partially because of the rain delay, of course, and the
yes,
cautions, I guess, extended it a little bit. But we have jobs, man.
yes. And
We need to make money.
that was a tragic race to fall asleep for the very end because that was the most exciting finish of this season.
Yeah. I I checked my phone in the morning. I went to sleep around lap 250. I think you did too. And I wake up and I check that and I'm like, man, would it have been worth the extra 45 minutes to stay up? I don't know. But I only got like 6 hours of sleep, and I know you got less than that.
Yes,
So
very
I don't
tragic.
know, but I think that that's a problem that NASCAR has. We should not have races that late. And I know that you disagree with this because you love the night races,
That's true. Racing
but
under the lights, prettiest thing ever.
and it does look cool, but it's Sunday night with all the variables that could go wrong, like the rain delays, the cautions. That stuff doesn't happen in like football. Sunday night football always ends around 11:30. There's never, rarely any weather delays or like I guess the similar thing is like an injury timeout. There's not many of those that slow down a football game, but that happens in NASCAR all the time. They
Yeah.
should not have a race at 7 because I want to watch it and not stay up till 1 a.m. when I got
Yes.
work.
I believe that having a night race, if it's planned, they should change them to Saturdays at night
Yes,
and then push the O'Reilly series earlier in the day on Saturday with the truck still on Friday. I believe you could still fit it
that's
all in.
perfect.
Fitting in qualifying and practice though might be a little tough, but I believe Saturdays would be a better fit for night races and then day
Exactly.
races on Sundays.
Exactly. I think that's perfect. I didn't even think of that, but that's perfect. But some other interesting figures from the ending of that race. We all know that Shane Van Gisbergen, every time he steps onto a road course, it's almost guaranteed that he's going to win. 6 of the last 7 road courses have gone to Shane Van Gisbergen or something like that, right? And the only one that he didn't win, which do you remember where that was? Was it Coda?
Yes, it was Coda.
It was Coda, and Tyler Reddick won that one. But guess who was in second?
Shane Van
Shane Van
Gisbergen.
Gisbergen. If he doesn't win, he'll be close. But fifth place on an oval, he has not been historically very good on ovals. Do you think that he's starting to figure it out?
I believe he's starting to figure out a little bit, even though I hate to admit that. Um, I don't believe he's going to become as good as people think he's going to become on ovals. He's a street racer. Uh, but yeah, that's all I really have. Ben Ginsburg, props to you, but good luck.
Yeah. But like, imagine how dominant Shane Van Gisbergen would be if he was good at ovals. Like if he guarantees like at least 4 wins on road courses, and then you add another one or two on ovals per year, he's gonna be top five in the standings every year, and he'll be competing for the Cup Series championship every year. He'll be an all-around racer. So we'll see if he's able to figure it out. But I mean, I think he could be really dangerous if that ends up happening. So congratulations, Shane Van Gisbergen. Um, that's all we really have for the Cracker Barrel 400. So to end off this week's inaugural episode of Drafting Delusions, we are going to share our picks for the Cup Series championship. I'll let you go first, Evan. Who do you think is going to take home the NASCAR Cup Series championship here in several months?
I believe that many people won't believe me here, but I think Carson Hocevar has a chance of taking it home with him. Right now, he's
No.
currently ninth in the standings. He's halfway up there. There's still many races to go. He's getting okay at ovals, super speedways. Uh, I believe he has a chance of making it at least top eight, top four.
Okay. Is that your pick? Your official pick, Carson Hocevar?
Carson Hocevar for the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series Championship.
I disagree. I think, and you're gonna hate me, I think it's gonna be Denny. I think this is Denny's year. Zero championships all time. He's 45, still in his prime. Very impressive. I think that he is the best driver in NASCAR at this very moment, and I think that he will have the consistency to bring it home. He should have won last year. He was so close, and with all the adversity that Denny has been through lately, it would just be nice to see him get his first championship this year. I think he's due. I think he deserves it. I think that, I mean, the talent is still there, and I think this is his year. But I think Tyler Reddick still has a strong case with his very strong start. What
Do
would
you
you put Tyler
believe?
Reddick's
Do you
chances at?
believe that Denny could pass Reddick in
Could pass Reddick?
regular season points?
Well, he's down by about 100 points right now,
Hmm.
right? Something
But he
like
brought
that.
it up 25 after last night.
True. I think that it's possible. Do I think that it will happen? Probably not. I think Denny's probably gonna land somewhere. He's in second right now. He's probably gonna stay around there. My guess is that he ends in second. I assume that he's probably gonna pick up one or two more wins, maybe more across the season. But Tyler Reddick has been so consistent, like consistently top 10, consistently top five. He hasn't really had a bad race this season. But I think the storyline for Denny to win the championship is too good. Tyler Reddick has been so good this year, but I think that this it just has to be Denny's year, right? But Tyler Reddick still has a good shot. What would you put his chances at, Tyler Reddick?
I give Tyler Reddick a worse chance than Denny. Um, I believe he had a good start to the season. First, what was it? 3 races he won in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's at 6 now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him putting out those numbers like he was earlier this season, later in the
Right.
season. And I
That's
can see
exactly my
Denny
thinking.
doing that.
Now, this could be fun. What are your dark horse picks? Like guys that you wouldn't really think could win the championship, but still have a decent shot. Who do you think like one of those guys could be?
My number one there is Chase Briscoe. Right now, he's 15th in the standings. He pulled off a heck of a performance last night. Uh, I keep seeing him stay mid leaderboard consistently across the races. I see him maybe pulling something off that no one sees coming.
And he was top four last year, right?
Yes, he made it
Was
to the
he?
top
Yeah,
four last year. Yes.
I can see that for sure. I think one of my dark horses is William Byron. I think
Willie B.
he Willie B is I think he's like 11th in the standings. And he was another guy who was in the top four last year with Briscoe, Denny, and Kyle Larson, the eventual champion. And I mean, he had back-to-back Daytona 500s, and I think he's due for some wins. I think those will come eventually. I'm very surprised that he hasn't won a race yet this season. I think he'll turn it on during the back end
Yeah.
of this year, and especially in
Playoff
the
Byron is
playoffs.
deadly.
Playoff Byron is deadly. Do you think he ends up in the top four again like
I
last year?
I could see it happening. I at least see top eight
For sure.
for sure.
And I want to give a hot take here. Another one of my dark horses, a guy that I could see making a deep playoff run, like top eight for sure. I could see happening. You're gonna hate me. Ty Gibbs. I think Ty Gibbs has a shot.
Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs. Where do you think Ty Gibbs is in the standings right now?
I would put him at 12th or 13th right now.
He's fourth in the Cup Series. Yeah. Ty Gibbs, Tyler Gibbs is fourth in the NASCAR Cup Series standings right now. He had his first ever win this season. Had to feel good for him. And he's been consistently getting these top fives, top tens. The wins haven't come in bunches yet, but I could see him picking up a couple of wins on the backstretch of this year and maybe making a little bit of a playoff run. I don't think he's going to win the championship, but props to Ty Gibbs. Would you have guessed that? Top four in this cup
I
right
would not
now?
have. I I don't see that happening for long, but
I think he can keep it up. But all right, next week we're at Michigan. Who do you think is going to win?
my pick for Michigan, I'm gonna have to go with Chase Briscoe.
Mm,
He put off a heck of a performance last night, and I think he can pull it off.
I think he's due for a win.
Yes.
He doesn't have as many wins as I thought that he would have in his career. He only has five, but he's been looking very good this year. Obviously, very good last year as well. So I think that's a good pick. I'm
Yes.
gonna go with Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is a guy that's due for a win. It's been over a year. His last win was May 11th of last year, but Michigan is a track that Larson is very familiar with. He won at Michigan 2 years in a row back in 2016 and 2017. And Kyle Larson is currently the highest driver in the Cup Series standings that has not won a race yet. He's sixth place in the Cup Series, and I think that he's due for a win. He's had these good finishes. That's why he's in sixth. So I think Kyle Larson gets it done this Sunday at Michigan.
Alrighty then, that wraps about everything up. This was Drafting Delusions. I'm Evan. That's Jake. We had fun today. We got over. We talked about everything with the Cracker Barrel 400. We're on to Michigan next week. We hope to see you next week for our Tuesday podcast. See ya.